Capital News tonight. The University of Dar es Salaam confers President Samia Suluhu Hassan an honorary doctorate degree in recognition of her contribution to education and human rights. The bus driver and conductor of Starlight School have been arrested following rape allegations. And in sports, Dodoma Jiji have defeated Coastal Union in the NBC Premier League. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbo. First, the national news. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has received the honorary doctorate degree of Doctor of Letters from the University of Dar es Salaam in recognition of her outstanding contribution to education and human rights. The Chancellor of the University of Dar es Salaam, former President of Tanzania, Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, conferred President Samia Suluhu Hassan the honorary doctorate degree at the 52nd graduation ceremony of the University of Dar es Salaam.
Kwa mamlaka niliyokabidhiwa, ninakutunuku degree ya Doctor of Letters honoris causa ya Chuo Kikuu cha Dar es Salaam. Hongera sana.
Shahada ya heshima inaweza kutunukiwa kwa mtu ambaye
Honorary doctorate can be awarded to a person who has accomplished one among the following terms and conditions. One, should have given massive contribution in education, must have used wisdom in solving big challenges, and must have made mega contributions in protecting human rights.
Swala la kupewa tuzo hii nimelipokea kwa unyenyekevu mkubwa, lakini nilijiuliza maswali kadhaa.
I am honored to receive this honor, but I had so many questions because previously I wished to have studied for this level of education, but time was not on my side. Although I kept on wondering why I am getting this honor, it was a privilege for me to hear my profile. I was enlightened on reasons behind why University of Dar es Salaam has awarded me.
Nimepata mwanga wa sababu zilizosukuma Chuo Kikuu cha Dar es Salaam kunitunuku shahada hii yenye kuhusiana na uwanja mpana wa ubinadamu na utu, na kwa hiyo kugusa moja kwa moja maisha ya Mtanzania.
Kazi ambayo imefanyika kwa umakini mkubwa. Tumefanya tafiti za kutosha, maelezo yakajadiliwa, kujadili mpaka tukakubaliana kwamba kwa kweli unastahili.
The driver and conductor of the school bus belonging to Starlight Pre-Primary and Primary School have been arrested following allegations of raping a pre-primary 6-year-old girl at the school. The incident has resulted in a visit at the school by the Kinondoni District Defense and Security Committee, as well as the Minister of Community Development, Gender, Children and Special Groups, Dorothy Gwajima.
Mimi ni mzazi pia, mkuu wa shule, lakini mzazi na watoto. Hakuna mtu anayeweza kupokea hili jambo kwa furaha. Limenisikitisha mno mno mno, na ndio maana tumeshirikiana na vyombo vya dola kuwakamata wahusika na kuwaweka ndani. Maana sisi kazi yetu kubwa ni kusaidiana na serikali. Lakini kama hili limetokea kwa mtu mmoja, kwa yeye kama yeye, hatuwezi kubali mtu mwingine atuchafulie taasisi.
Tuwasiliana pia na madari polisi kuulizia kweli watu walikuwepo. Kwa hiyo tukaomba pia waje na mtoto, kwa hiyo alikuja pia mtoto. Kwa hiyo mimi kama afisa ustawi pia nilimhoji mtoto na baadhi ya marafiki za watoto pia niliwahoji. Kwa hiyo tukio lipo.
Wito wangu mimi kwa wazazi, mmoja kwanza waone mabasi, school buses zinazochukua watoto wao, ndani yao kuna matron. Sasa ndio maelekezo ya serikali ya wilaya ili kulinda mazingira bora ya mtoto wako. Sasa mimi siko huko nyumbani kwako, wewe angalia kama mzazi, na kama unakuta pale hakuna matron mzazi, ondoa mtoto kwenye shule.
Hilo swala litakwenda nchi nzima. Nimeshaelekeza pale ofisini, mimi ndio mwenye kamati tendaji ya kupambana kutokomeza ukatili kitaifa. Katibu mkuu wangu ndio mwenyekiti. awaite wenzake wote wa kuteka sekta zote wakae kesho tarehe 1 walijadili hili swala vizuri, waliweke vizuri ili jitolewe tamko rasmi kuunga mkono juhudi za wapambanaji huku kwenye hizi wilaya zetu, mfano kama DC Gondo alivyofanya.
Now, at a conference in Arusha, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has called on heads of insurance authorities and social security funds in Africa to educate citizens on the importance of insurance in order to improve their lives and alleviate them from poverty.
Elimu na matumizi ya bima. Mamlaka na taasisi zetu zinazohusika na usimamizi wa bima na hifadhi ya jamii.
It is important to give awareness and users of insurance. Authorities and institutions that are responsible in insurance and social security should give out education on matters of insurance in the continent, since every country has their own way. This move will help in growth of this sector. Put emphasis on improving your corporations in the continent in encountering calamities, including matters of climate change.
Mheshimiwa Waziri Mkuu, serikali imekuwa ikiandaa sera, sheria, kanuni na miongozo.
The government has continued to prepare rules and regulations for the benefit of the people by implementing CCM Manifesto of 2020, 5 years development plan and 10 years finance development plan.
Mapinduzi ya mwaka 2020, mpango wa maendeleo wa taifa miaka 5, yani 2021 hadi 2026, na mpango mkuu wa maendeleo ya sekta ya fedha wa miaka 10, yani 2020-2030.
Residents from Magamba Ward in Lushoto District, Tanga region have opposed mineral activities being implemented by an investor at water sources depended on by residents of the district, claiming the village government leaders have violated the Prime Minister's directives by allowing the mining activities.
Inatupotezea muda wa Magamba, inafika mahali tunakosa imani na serikali yetu.
It has been long enough since we said that we are not interested. People are about to lose patience because we're losing faith with the government. We don't even want to see those people.
Asali ambayo tutaipata wana Magamba ya kwanza. Hii hewa tunaoisikia tutaisikia tena mpaka tutakufa.
My call to the government, finances that are associated with rock sites must first benefit miners who are the ones working around here. Must also benefit from water sources and tourism activities conducted.
Wako sawa sawa. Sindio jamani? Kwa wakati kuna watu wanafanya kwa maslahi yao. Mimi niseme wewe ulipo hapo kuna watu walihangaika kwa ajili yako. Na sisi tuhangaike kwa ajili ya vizazi vyetu.
Now, the Chief Executive of Courts, Professor Elisante Ole Gabriel, during a training in Dar es Salaam, called on religious leaders to talk with their followers in addressing various disputes instead of going to court, as most of the disputes can be resolved out of court.
Ni kwamba 98% ya hayo mashauri wote waliokuja mahakama.
98% of people who came to courts have their own religions, whether Muslims or Christians. The question is, where are the religious leaders in teaching people on good conduct before they come to court?
Mahakama zetu zinaelemewa sana na migogoro. Zinaelemewa sana na
Our courts are having heavy loads of cases. I have learned that our contribution as religious leaders is very important in reducing the number of cases by helping in solving conflicts at our level. We have learned how the judiciary works, impacts of corruption, impacts of good conduct, and issues of drug abuse. All this knowledge has shown that our contribution in the society is very important in educating our followers on what we have learned. Refugees from Burundi at Nduta camp in Kibondo district, Kigoma region have expressed concern on shortage of essential needs such as food and clothes, for their children, causing them to be unable to attend school.
Wanafunzi hawajapewa daftari na walizoea kupewa daftari kwa sababu kambini hatutoki nje, so kufanya kibiashara yoyote hapo ndipo pangetoka daftari. Sasa daftari hujapewa, hii inapelekea wanafunzi kutokwenda shule, wanaamua kukaa nyumbani. Sasa hakuna maisha mengine.
Wakimbizi waliorejea ni 3984 pekee, wanaotoka kwenye kaya 1508. Idadi hii kwa wastani ni wakimbizi 90.5 kwa wiki na wakimbizi 362 kwa mwezi.
The Secretary General of the East African Community, Dr. Peter Matuki, has commended Tanzania for its contribution to maintaining cooperation and solidarity among the member countries of that community. Dr. Matuki made the remarks during the 23rd anniversary of the establishment of the community, where he also thanked development stakeholders, including the German Development Organization, GES, for supporting the community.
And Kenya bringing here close to almost 450 or thereabouts. And that is because of how our leaders are trying to speak together. And for our friends who have worked with us, the GIZ and the German government, we appreciate, and other governments, in promoting regional integration. And I want to thank you for that demonstration. The people of the government of Germany, we don't take that for granted, but also other governments that have supported the community.
You are well aware that there is a biting drought in the region due to failed rains over the past 3 years. The drought has brought untold suffering on our people, with pastoralists groups losing millions of heads of livestock due to lack of water and the pasture. As part of efforts to increase the region's forests cover.
Therefore, let's look at how we can integrate better. How can we work better together? How we can do business better together? We promise from GIZ side, from the German government, we will continue to support that marathon, that long run, that constant, steady move forward. So we will try to be faster than everybody else in this integration, in our marathon, to make sure that the people, the Wananchi of East Africa, will feel the prosperity, will feel the effect of an East African community supporting their life with peace, stability, and prosperity.
Now, the Minister of Finance and Planning from Zanzibar, Dr. Saada Mkuya, has said the government is in the process of preparing a policy and law that will create a conducive environment for taxpayers when the country faces national and international economic crisis.
TRA Zanzibar inatekeleza mipango mahususi ya kuongeza idadi ya walipa kodi kwa kuhakikisha wale wote wanaostahili kusajiliwa wanasajiliwa na kutimiza matakwa ya kisheria ya kodi, ikiwemo uwasilishaji wa ritani na ulipaji wa kodi. Mpango huu unalenga makundi ya walipa kodi ambao wamekuwa hawafikiwi kirahisi kutokana na sababu za kijiografia pamoja na kiteknolojia. Mfano, wafanyabiashara waliopo maeneo ya nje ya mji, wafanyabiashara katika sekta isiyo rasmi, pamoja na wale wanaofanya biashara kwa njia za mitandao.
Kwa Zanzibar muhimu, mradi ya Fumba Town, mradi ya so tunajenga lazima inaleta faida, inasaidia uchumi ya Zanzibar, na hii ni kazi yetu, na tunafurahi sana kama tunaweza kuchangia trend ya uchumi yetu vizuri, kusaidia kupandisha uchumi yetu na kutengeneza ajira kwa watu wengi na kutengeneza biashara ambayo wanaweza kulipa kodi.
Kodi kwanza ni muhimu sana. Kwa kulipa kodi ni jambo muhimu kwa ajili ya uchumi wa nchi yetu. Ukiangalia kampuni yetu ya Zantel katika mwaka wa fedha uliopita 2021-22 imechangia zaidi ya bilioni 46 kwa serikali katika masuala ya kodi mbalimbali ambazo zimelipwa. Kwa hiyo tunastahili kupata ushindi kwa sababu tumechangia katika uchumi wa nchi yetu.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows shortly. in international news. With the consultations for the peace process in the Democratic Republic of Congo facilitated by the East Africa Regional Bloc entering the third day, former President of Kenya and mediator Uhuru Kenyatta has urged the rebel groups in the Eastern Congo to lay down their arms and engage in talks in order to end the conflict that has lasted for more than 2 decades.
Tumejumuika kama wenzenu wa Afrika Mashariki kuja kutafuta namna na kusaidiana pamoja nanyi tuweze tupate hiyo amani. Amani ambaye tuwajua wenzetu wa Kongo wamekosa sasa kwa muda wa zaidi miaka 20 kwenda mbele. Kuna watoto ambao hawajawahi kuona mlango wa shule.
Now, a special panel investigating whether South African President Cyril Ramaphosa should face impeachment for allegedly covering up a crime that took place on his private farm submitted its findings to Parliament 2 weeks before he faces a crucial party election. The three-person team led by an ex-Chief Justice handed its report to National Assembly Speaker Nosisiwe Mapisa-Kakula on Wednesday. Now, in June, it emerged that an estimated $4 million in cash was stolen from Ramaphosa's game farm in 2020, raising questions about how the president acquired the money and whether he declared it. The Speaker said the report will be opened within 24 hours. Germany's government, which has been in power for almost a year now, is hoping to move forward with plans to make getting German citizenship easier, particularly dual citizenship. But the planned changes are causing a stir, particularly among the conservative opposition. For more on this, we cross to DW correspondent Kate Brady. Kate, enlighten us. What are people's rights currently, and what does the government want to change?
Well, as things stand, foreigners can officially only apply for citizenship after 8 years, and besides a few particular exceptions, only EU citizens can have dual citizenship in Germany. But according to this draft law, that would change and it would be easier to obtain dual citizenship, and people could apply for German citizenship after 5 years or even 3 years in certain circumstances. And these changes would affect millions of lives here. Chancellor Olaf Scholz pointed in particular in recent days to the millions of migrant workers that helped rebuild Germany, but many of them were Turkish or are Turkish, and that meant that they were never able to actually get a dual Turkish-German citizenship even all these years later. And the same applies to their descendants too, as they've had to choose between citizenships, which also means that they have no voting rights here in Germany if they chose the Turkish citizenship. So that's raised a lot of questions about what Germany's citizenship rules really mean for democracy too.
Now, what issues are up for debate?
Well, the reforms have been criticised in particular by the Conservative opposition bloc here, the CDU-CSU, who say the changes go too far. One MP described the planned reforms as flogging German citizenship, claiming that the plans don't encourage integration and that they would contribute to more illegal migration to Germany. The fact is, however, that to obtain German citizenship, people have to fulfil a whole list of requirements, including proving that they can support themselves financially, as well as proving an expected level of German language proficiency too.
Germany, like many countries, is facing a huge shortage of skilled workers. Where does that fit into the debate?
Well, this is an extremely important part of the debate, as Germany needs to attract an estimated 400,000 skilled migrants every year to keep up with the demand at the moment. But an ageing population and low birth rates have had a huge effect on the labour market over the past few decades. But one of the biggest criticisms of the German system for years has been the lack of long-term perspectives for skilled workers migrating to Germany. But a change in citizenship rights would certainly change that that going forward. And this comes at a time too when Germany is trying to develop a new system to attract more skilled workers too.
Thank you so much, Kate, for those updates. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows up next after the break. Welcome back, and in business news tonight, the cashew price at the fifth auction in Coast region dropped to 1,780.05 a kilo compared to 1,832.22 shillings in the previous auction through the warehouse system.
Korosho zote kwa bei ya wastani ya shilingi 1,780.05.
Bado tuendelee kusimamia ubora ili mkoa wetu wa Pwani bado tuendelee kuwa na korosho iliyo bora. Lakini pia tuzingatie kupeleka korosho kwenye magala kwa wakati.
Now, Tanzania has officially launched the Investment Forum, which aims to help investors look for opportunities in potential sectors as to bring about sustainable economic development.
Malengo ni kurahisisha kwamba mwekezaji anapotaka kuziona hizi fursa za uwekezaji anazipata namna gani. Kwa hiyo ataingia kwenye huo mfumo, atazipata hizo fursa, atafanya maamuzi yake.
Huu mfumo ambao tumefungua kwa kushirikiana na wenzetu wa UNDP, manake utatusaidia mwekezaji yeyote alipo duniani, iwe wa ndani au wa nje, kuingia kwenye mfumo huo na kuona hizo fursa ambazo wa Tanzania tunaweza kuzitoa.
Started with 25 regional investment guides that have been launched by the Prime Minister in each of the regions.
And Mwanza region has launched the cotton season, with farmers calling on the government to address the problem of fake pesticides that has caused them to incur heavy losses, as well as to establish fertilizer distribution centers closer, as many are forced to walk long distances to access the commodity.
Zile mbolea hatujazipata kwa sababu zimewekwa mbali na tulipo. Unajikuta gharama ya kufuata ile mbolea hauna gharama ya kuifuatilia. Sasa tunaomba iletwe kwenye kata ili kusudi kuna wengine hata hawajiwezi, wanakuwa wanachukua hapa katani.
Kwa sababu kakataa ushauri wa kitaalamu. Ukiambiwa dawa hii changanya kwenye ndoo moja ya maji, ndio ndoo moja ya maji, basi hiyo. Piga alafu uone itakuwaje. Kwa sasa hivi tunafanya mkakati wa hatari sana wa madawa. Pamoja na kwamba tumeamua mwaka huu kwamba tunaanzisha maabara maeneo mbalimbali. Kwa ile dawa ukiitumia alafu ukiona imekataa, wewe tulete.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows up next. Welcome back, and in sports news, Dodoma GGFC have defeated Coastal Union by a 1-0 in the NBC Premier League game played at the Mkwakwani Stadium in Tanga. The only goal of the game was scored by Rashid Chambo in the 90th minute. Moving on, the Club Licensing Committee of Tanzania Football Federation, CLC, has removed the ban on Kaitaba Stadium after being satisfied with its condition following an inspection of the ground. Here's more on the story.
In the report sent by TFF, the CLC had set to go through the result of the inspection of the stadium, which was banned from Premier League matches due to lacking proper standards, especially in the pitch area. Kaitaba Stadium in Bukoba, Kagera, is the home of Kagera Sugar, who were using the CCM Kirumba Stadium as their home ground after Kaitaba's ban.
TFF Regulations and Players Status Committee has allowed Singida Big Stars Football Club to sign new players, lifting the ban that was imposed on them for signing a player who already had another contract. Here are more details.
Singida will now be fined 1 million shillings, which is to be paid before the January transfer window, which will be opened in December 15th. In case the club fails to pay the required amount within the required time frame, their ban will stand.
India has bowed out of the World Cup despite winning 1-0 against France after Australia defeated Denmark by 1-0. Tunisia were on their way to a win against the defending champions before Antoine Griezmann equalized with the last kick of the game. Later tonight, Poland play Argentina while Mexico face Saudi Arabia. And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbo. Thank you for watching and good night.